Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and wherever you're watching this and whenever you're watching this. I'm going to go back and watch this video again after the 2020 American elections because I want to see how my words sound afterwards. When I got the word through all my social media platforms, Donald Trump has COVID. There are a couple of different takes on it. One, and this is the camp I fell into, I thought, that's quite shrewd and devious. Good morning, Brother Sid. Good morning, Brother Jeff. When I heard about Donald Trump and Melania Trump, his wife, saying they had coronavirus, I thought that's a shrewd tactical or strategic move. It pulls you out of having to have any more debates. It gives you a period where you can simply, like a crockpot timer with America, set it and forget it. Throw a bunch of incendiary words, claim you're sick, and then just fade off into the sunset and see what happens later. He's observing one rule. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Uncle Ladrunius. He's observing one brilliant rule that I struggle with sometimes. He may have learned when to just shut the fuck up. Maybe he realizes I've said enough, I've turned enough timers to go off in a month, that if I just don't say anything, maybe I'll win. And I thought this is some tactical genius. Oh, thank you, Brother Sid. Everybody watching, please, no matter where you're watching this, come to the YouTube channel, like, share, and comment. Sharing this channel, because we talk about three things here. We talk about money, which is my favorite topic. We talk about world travel, not just my life in Brazil or my friends who live in various countries, but we also talk quite a bit about social issues. And right now, one of the biggest social issues affecting the world is the 2020 American election. I may be wrong. I want to share with you the parable of the sinking ship. I wish I could tell you that I was enough of a philosopher to have come up with this on my own. I believe the first person to share this with me was Dr. Mo, who comes on and talks to us sometime. But I don't want to claim someone else's words as my own. And if someone can give me the origin of this parable, please leave it in the comments. Let's say there's this giant ship, a giant seafaring vessel made out of wood and iron, and it's beautiful and it's huge, and it just sails across the mighty seas doing stuff. And one day, maybe they ran aground, maybe a giant sea serpent poked a hole in the side, but they start taking on water exponentially quickly. They think they can bail it out. They try to bail out the water, but eventually the captain and then the first mate, then the crew all the way down starts to realize we're in the middle of the ocean. This ship is taking on water. We're not going to make it. Even worse, it's going to be a slow sinking. We're going to have time to think about this as we watch the water creep up. The first mate is in tears. The crew is walking around aimlessly like zombies, figuring out what do I do with what is arguably my last moment breathing. Now the captain, he's trying to keep it together because life or death, he's still the captain. He's not going to break in front of these men. He's going to try to remain a stalwart. And everyone's dealing with these overwhelming emotions of death, having once served on this once mighty ship that was the ideal of the ocean. But deep down in the galley, deep down in the guts and the bowels of the ship, there are these slaves. And the slaves have chains around their arms, and they're tied to the oars. Nobody thinks about the slaves much. They're being whipped and beaten. They're the reason that the ship gets to travel across the seas, but nobody thinks about them because they're just slaves. Eventually, the slaves realize the The ship is going down. My question is, do the slaves cry? Do slaves cry when the ship that they were a slave to is going to simply sink with them in it? Shout out to that episode of American Gods with the god Anansi, who said, we'll just force the ship to sink and we'll just all die here together. That's not what happened in real life. That's not what's happening with America's sinking ship. See, the sinking ship that is America right now has several holes that were put into it. Now, some holes are bigger than others. I'd like to be able to blame all of America's ills on one or two presidents or one or two failed policies. Most of America's largest, how you doing, Anthony? Most of America's policies and original sins started with the slaughter of the Indians and the enslavement of Black Americans. And we became those slaves in the galley, economically and through our lands and through the things. What did I have to say? The shade should use the captain as a wow, if only they could. The slaves would use the captain of a boat. Brother Sid Owsley said, some people call Trump stupid, but he's far from stupid. You may not like him, but he's very shrewd. True. But what if this isn't the shrewd move that we thought it was? And she learns life, you know what? I'm awake because I get up early every day. You got to get up pretty early in the morning to hustle as hard as I do. Generally speaking, I wake up between 6 or 7 every day, whether I have a client that I have to see face to face. If I don't have a client, I'm doing something for my own personal businesses. I am on the internet. I am researching, but I get up early. And yeah, I believe I'm 3 hours ahead of you. Sensei, Brother David Pitt said Trump's not 6. I was up at 5. Well, it's not a contest. It's not a contest. Congratulations, you were up at 5 a.m. It's not a contest. But I hope you're up consistently at 5 a.m. So here's where we are. The slaves on that ship may not cry at all. Maybe they'll just put down their rows and sit there calmly as the water rises and say, maybe this is better than the life I had. See, that is where America is, particularly in context of Black Americans. A lot of people here know I do, well, hold on, let me show you guys. For those who don't know, I'm going to show you 2 quick references. One, I do expat relocation services, meaning people in the United States who want to move to Brazil call me and say, hey, can you help me with my paperwork, arranging health card benefits, Social Security card, where to live, all that good stuff. I say that to say this. I've been getting a flood of people who realize the American ship may be sinking. See, remember, nobody realizes it until the ship is already down. By the way, here's the blah, blah, blah. We can look at all that. Here's where, and I'll put that in the comment section for anybody who wants to contact me professionally about what I do. I'll put add me on link in there. But my clients have been coming to Brazil for all sorts of reasons. Some come because they want cosmetic issues done. They want tourism and healthcare benefits in a country where it's affordable but still as good as America. I've got people calling me saying, I just want to run. I just want to run. I just need to get out of here. I need to not be on this sinking ship. So Donald Trump claiming he has COVID, I don't know, is that just dragging a dead horse out of the barn and beating it? I mean, at this point, the cake has been baked. Can we do anything more? Can he do anything more or less? If he was to take a complete 180-degree turn on any of his policies or words, the wheels have already been set in motion. It's not going to get better before it gets much, much worse. Anthony said that's crazy. It is. You need to raise their prices for November 3rd rush. No, you know, that's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm out to make a profit as a successful businessman, but I'm not out to scalp people. It may not be necessary for him to claim COVID. Now, there is also the other end of the spectrum, which a lot of us haven't thought about. What if he really does have COVID? What if Donald Trump at the age of, somebody tell me, how old is Donald Trump? Let me look this up. Donald Trump age. Donald Trump is 74 years old. Okay. I believe he is slightly younger than, let's see, Joe Biden. Yeah. He's only 3 years younger than Joe Biden. They look drastically different. Some people suspect that Joe Trump has availed himself of testosterone replacement therapy like a lot of successful men have, but like a lot of guys, he doesn't like to talk about it. Hold on, we got a quick comment here. Brother Anthony said, because I heard about Brazilians fleeing Brazil here as well. The healthcare is a plus, but Bolsonaro is worse and dumber version of Trump. Here's where I would disagree with you, Anthony. I'm not sure that a dumb person can become the leader of any country, much less countries the size of Brazil and the United States. You can be evil, you can be malicious, you can be shrewd, but you don't fall into power. You don't fall into that level. I've had that argument many times. So where we are now is in a situation where Donald Trump says, I have COVID. What if he really does? At 74 years old, what if he really does have it? Have we thought about the fact that it's October? And let's say, and by the way, I don't wish anyone a horrible COVID death. Do I want some people removed from office? Do I want this? Because remember, anything other than clear action from the government or from the people is a loss. Hoping that our political adversaries suffer some ill fortune doesn't help us, ever. And I voted for Trump, by the way. I wanted to watch America burn quickly. People tend to forget that his adversary was Hillary Clinton, who was the only person in the entire country of the United States of America who was worse than him that he could be. That says a lot about America. We don't like to talk about that much. I'm glad America is burning. My people have been chained to that ore since long before the inception of America was official. I wanted to watch it burn so that maybe while I'm still young enough to enjoy it, I will feel comfortable going back to my country. Now, I've since fallen in love with Brazil. Brazil is a place where I'm a permanent resident. I may visit other places, but Brazil is home now. Officially. Claire Denholm, Hillary is what won Donald the election. Yes, 100%. Hillary Clinton is the only person who was so much worse than Donald Trump, he could beat them. You could put a broom in a picture with a suit and tie on, and it would have beaten Donald Trump. But and I'm going back on you. Who remembers that Hillary Clinton screwed Bernie Sanders out of a fair shot trying to beat Donald Trump? He would have done better than her even if he lost. I'm sorry, you don't really believe what? You got to be specific, because I'm saying a few things and there are a few things in the comments. So let us know which one you're specific about. So if he does have COVID and he does get sick and we end up with Vice President Mike Pence, who we'll have to do an entire another video on that if that happens. What happens if Mike Pence assumes power before the next election? Donald Trump might lose the next election. I don't think he will. I think he's going to win again. But Mike Pence, I believe, would carry the election against any current against any current Democrat. You just read my mind, Sister Kenna. I said that if Donald Trump gets sick, dies, or for any reason can't be president, Mike Pence can win the next election. And we would have to have an entire deep dive into Mike Pence and who he is and some of the things he's done with his conservative views and words and deeds. We're at a point with the sinking ship of America where if you're one of the people for whom America never worked anyway, are you sad right now? Kind of out of control. Oh, I wish it was. I wish it was my doing. I don't use this layout. I didn't design this layout. I use something called StreamYard, and what I will do is I'll show everybody. If you want to use StreamYard, I have a. Let's see. Let's see. If you want to try StreamYard for the conversation and layouts. There you go. Anthony, let me know if you need any help with it. It's dirt easy to set up. I've done it from my phone. I've done it in front of my computer. It's not a problem at all. Let me know what you pull up. He said Biden will test positive in a game of one-upsmanship. Biden tests positive for COVID, Corona, and HIV. No, just kidding. It's not a contest. It's not a contest. He said a sinking ship with 6,000 nuclear weapons is dangerous to the world. I agree. Yes. What you just said. Let's not even talk about the economic instability. Let's say you are 100% correct. The weapons, the things like that. I mean, everyone who is a student of history, even on a casual level, knows no empire lasts forever, but the people in that empire always believe it will. The trick is to be born at a stage in the empire when it's at its peak and die the day before the decline starts to set in. But we don't get that option. It's terrifying to know that right now, because of things like the internet, we have the context of history in a way that we have access to more historical data than the wisest scholar did 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, studying across Egypt in temples that house books written by the wisest men history has ever known. We have more access to more information. The one thing that we do know is nothing lasts forever. No empire will last forever. They will all fall. It's just terrifying to know that you're in the middle of one. Remember, we're not in America. We're in something that's commonly referred to as the American experiment. America is an experiment. We haven't had any countries like us before in history. The way the government is run, the way that people are allowed to do certain things without other things. Every other empire that you can think of came to power. None of them came to power in a few hundred years. That's unheard of. For an empire to develop and come to power in a few hundred years. That just doesn't happen. Let's see. USA will never completely go away because of its military might, just like Russia. Yeah, but everybody may have a diminished capacity. Remember, right now and in the past, we had the United States here as a bulwark against Russia and China. What happens if we all simply become equal? Sid says, great point about Africans and the invention of vaccines. Oh, yeah, let me go back up. I apologize for not. Let's see. There. It was a slave that invented a vaccine for cowpox. Black folks quit being anti-science. The Africans were scientific people. Can you give us some links for that? Some links to share. This could be the biggest chess move the world has ever seen. Mike Pence would win. That's a brutal statement. The biggest chess move the world has ever seen. Man of tomorrow, I'm flattered. Easy come, easy go. That's hard, man. That's hard, man of tomorrow. MOT, my email, I think we chatted in the past, but my email is YusefWateef@gmail.com. Would you send me a quick, anyone here can as well, but specifically Man of Tomorrow, shoot me a quick email, please. I'd like to catch up with you. I would enjoy having a conversation with you here or on your channel if you'd like. But that easy come, easy go statement, Man of Tomorrow, that's harsh. Ooh, that's hard. And by the way, when we talk about the American Ascension and how it became America so quickly, Brother David Pitts came right up on time. He said none of these countries have 400 years of free slave labor in modern times. One of the things that we tend to forget is, and by the way, I read an article about articles, which is kind of meta, There was a scientist and a journalist and a data scientist who said any professor who writes an article on the economic value of slave labor and how it helped America immediately finds himself jobless and unemployable. Because we don't ever touch it. In America, it's never to be spoken of. The economic advantage of 400 years of free slavery to build your empire. Wow. Wow. But let's go back to this Trump COVID thing. Does it really matter? Does him having COVID or not having COVID in any way change things? I mean, I don't know. I don't think it does. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see. I had really, yeah, so did I. So did I. I had a lot of good expectations. You guys know I can't type and talk at the same time. Let's see. It does matter. Shows he needs to take it seriously. So you believe that he does have it, or that he would not have spoken about it if he hadn't actually contracted it? Hey, cousin. Let's catch up soon. I'm going to give you a call. I hope you're doing well. Miss you. Brother David Pitt said, absolutely, it means people better understand science and the virus is really unstoppable. Yeah. You know, America has become very anti-science. America has become one of those places where they pretend that it just doesn't matter. I don't know, like it's just not a big deal. I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't want to keep beating this dead horse. What I am saying is that I'm still not completely convinced that this is the tactical brilliance that I thought it was. I think that it's already a sinking ship. I think that we are already on that road where the momentum has picked up to the point where it's going to get worse before it gets better. Good morning, Dante. Hello, Green Machine. Bolsonaro is a great science enemy. The friendship with Trump makes sense. Let's see. Durval says, hello, Yusef. Isn't bad in 2020 we have eyewitnesses low-level debate, considering that once we watch candidates like Reagan and Kennedy in past elections. Here's the problem. Reagan and Kennedy were no better than anybody else. And this is why I talk about the holes in the ship of America. Reagan and Kennedy did great things for Americans who were not black and not Indian. They did great things for them. But if you're someone who looks like me or you, Brother Duvall, is America sinking? I mean, it's not like we had a great ride in America. It's not an ugly dog contest, and I'm not comparing the plight of black people in one country to the plight of black people in the other. We simply have to realize that if the world restructures itself, could black Americans gain a better station? I don't know. I don't know. Brother David said, do people understand that a positive test means there are viral particles active does not mean you have an overwhelming viral load, so you have to be very careful about what positive means. True, true. Let's see. It's not as tactical as it should be. I don't even know what that means. It's on the highway to Dante's Inferno. Wow. Said Trump policies are good in my opinion. He just can't keep it together. I don't even know how to address that, because Trump is so much more than policies. Trump is more than policies. Trump is more than what I just put in place. His words carry the weight. His words alone, a Donald Trump tweet carries as much weight as a policy written out in detail by professionals and experts, signed and ratified by any president. Because he's that in tune with how he talks to people. Trump is a religion. You know what? You might have something there. Listen, I wanted to share this with you. I wanted to get a piece of my mind out to you. I'm going to expand on this later. I wanted to throw that out there and see if I could give a quick first impression, which may be altered later, on whether or not Donald Trump and his COVID admission makes that much of a big deal. Is it really that tactical? Is it really going to help him any more than anything else he's already done? And if he does have it, is it somehow going to help all the people who said, yes, COVID virus is real? Is it going to help them now? I don't know. Remousine said Trump is a master dog whistle player. Yeah, he is. 100%. Listen, I love you all, and I hope everybody has a great day. Do me a favor, make sure you click the like and subscribe. It's not doing me a favor. What am I saying? Do yourself a favor. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Make sure you click the like, the share, the subscribe button, because this is where we get to have a lot of good discussions. The last thing I'll leave you with is for the people who may or may not even be interested in coming to Brazil. One of the things that I've done is I've put together some things with other people who are very successful. I've been able to share a lot of my tactics and strategies on how I was able to become a world traveler, things that are very technical in nature of building businesses, living life as an expat, all those different things. I put those in our Patreon. A lot of the people here are already on our Patreon, so you already know. I'm not going to go through the self-masturbatory routine of reading you all these things. What I am going to do is I'm going to put it in the comments section and tell you to go look at it. This is a growing community of very serious people. Patreon it's a lot less fun, more serious, money, success oriented. So if you want the fun stuff, stay here. We're always going to have fun here. This is where I have the conversations that listen. Let's be very clear. Nobody on YouTube is looking for information on how to get a criminal background check so you can go live abroad. People here aren't really interested that much in how to train an executive assistant. As a matter of fact, I did a video yesterday on how to train your own executive assistant with my executive assistant who assists me by teaching her something else that she'll be doing for me on social media. So, Chironis. Finally, a live stream talking about Donald Trump that doesn't like him. So, wait, finally a live stream talking about Donald Trump that doesn't like him. That sentence can be read a couple of different ways. Does that mean that my other streams were all liking Donald Trump, or vice versa? Perhaps later you can clarify that for us. Having said that, I wish everybody a great day, a great morning, no matter what time it is, no matter where you are. Have a successful day. Please be safe, all right? And I hope to talk to you all again.